If you guys watched my live yesterday, I did talk a little bit about the feeling of urgency. And we have had this feeling um, off and on over the last year or two, but it seems like lately we are getting ramped up in our feelings. We are feeling like we need to get stuff done and we need to get it done as of yesterday. And part of this, I think, is obviously what's going on in the financial. We all know that the dollar's about to crash. You can't hide it. It's coming. They're pushing for the CBDC. They are already saying that the Fed now is going to go into effect. There's rumors that there are. Well, it's not even a rumor. It's been verified that there's a whole lot of ships off the coast, which again that's been last year, but it's increasing. The tension between Russia and Ukraine is increasing. The tension between China and Taiwan is increasing. And we're seeing, just like we do every primary election year, the ramp up of active shooters. They seem to be 10 times the normal amount when it comes around primary elections. And we all know that that's because the government's trying to take our 2A rights away. Um, the urgency feeling, I can't stress enough how important it is to listen to your feelings when you think something is wrong. And with so many of us feeling that, you really have to take notice to it. I noticed today a lot of the creators that I normally watch today just weren't on. Or if they were on, a couple of them, they were also sounding alarms of getting your stuff in order. And we've preached this over the last year, but it's really coming down to where we are going to run out of time to be able to get stuff in order. If the financial system crashes, then we aren't going to be able to get to our funds to be able to get things in order. If the housing market crashes, we're not going to be able to get to the locations that we want to get to. And I think, it's a domino effect. Once one happens, very quickly, the rest fall behind. And we need to take note to that. We need to um, really get our priorities in order. And we need to decide what needs to be done right now and what holes really need to be filled. If you already have a good bit of food, then you need to look where you're lacking, whether it be medical, whether it be having cash on hand, whether it be pet supplies, whatever it is, you need to fill those holes and fill those holes fast. There's rumors, which there's always rumors, but there's rumors of June something happening. There's rumors of July something happening, and I don't know if either of those months are going to come into fruition. But I don't want to wait until that point when something happens to not have my stuff in place. There are things that I do need to get done. I'm set on a good bit of my list, but there are a couple things that I've been lacking in that I need to get some skills up and get some things in order and get them done to the best that I can. And I understand that, sometimes it's difficult financially wise, but you don't have to go buy the latest and greatest stuff. You don't have to go buy the 10-year number 10 cans of food. Do it yourself, store it yourself, dehydrate it, freeze it, whatever you have to do to get yourself in order now, you've got to do it. Um, you don't want to be caught with your pants down when, SHTF happens. If you are just sitting on your butt at home when you could be out there planting seeds and SHTF happens and you're not prepared, that's your fault. Now is the time to get out there and do it. The weather is good. It's a good time to practice your skills. It's a good time to get your gardens going. It's a good time to learn how to build those water filters from nature or um, I don't know, take a class, start learning things online, read a book, go to the Goodwill or whatever it is and buy books that will help you learn these things. If you have to do it that way, at least do that. Start reaching out to communities, people that you know. So if you have to leave your home, you can get up and go. You know where to go. One of the things that I did do and I suggest that everyone else does, is if you have places in order of where you can go if you have to leave your home, but you don't have your own bug out place location, but you have people's houses you're going to go to, you need to get online, get on Google Maps, put their address in, and print out the directions. Because if a grid goes down, you're not going to be able to get online to get those directions. If the grid goes down, your phones are not going to work to where you can pull up GPS. So, very, very important. You need to print out directions of anywhere that you plan to go. I don't care if it's 5 different people's addresses that you may or may not go to, print them out so that you have them no matter what. Another thing that you need to have is you need to print out or write out names of family members and friends so that if you're in a home with 1 or 2 people and you something happens to you, God forbid, the other person knows who they need to contact or who they need to get a hold of or find in a SHTF situation. So those are 2 things you absolutely need hard copies of. You need to print them out, write them out, put them in a notebook, laminate them, whatever you have to do, tattoo them on your butt. Like, I don't care. Just make sure they are offline. You have them hard copy one way or another so that you can find them, other people can find them, um, that you need to know where these are. Hi, Jason. Teresa, hello. Colin, hello. It's late there where you are. Um, Also, if you I'm not where I wanna be location wise. You guys know that if you watch my lives. I want to go to Tennessee. That's where my heart has been pulling me. That's where God has been leading me, and I have been trying to find where God wants me to go. It's not necessarily where I want to go in Tennessee. It's where God is pulling me to go, and He's going to show me where I need to be. And that's really been happening lately. I've run into a lot of dead ends this last year, and just recently, I have had a path cleared for me. And uh, I told you guys last night in my life, things are falling into place for where I think He wants me to be, and I just have to listen. I just have to keep moving forward, keep planning, and as long as that's where I'm supposed to be, He's going to make the way easy for me. He's going to show me how to get there. He's going to show me what I need to do in order to um, get to this place. If you are not where you want to be, you need to start looking now. Start going online, start searching, and don't give up. If you run into one dead end, you're just not supposed to be there. That's not the place you were supposed to be. So keep looking. Keep looking for land. Keep looking for communities. Keep reaching out. Message people. Call people. Ask friends of if they have family or friends in that general area of where you want to go. And then if you find a place that looks like it may be a good match, then take the time to go and check it out because anybody can say anything online. Anybody can be anybody they want to be online. Um, Pictures can look beautiful, but you may go there and it may not be at all what you thought it was. So even if you have to take a weekend to travel to go check a place out, do it. Now is the time to do those things. Start finding places if you're not where you want to be. Start looking for land. Um, Even if you have to get a tiny home or even live in a tent, at least you'll have somewhere. If you have the ability to buy land, even if it's just an acre or 2 acres for now, do that so that you have somewhere you can go to if you have nowhere else to go, and then you can expand later or you can connect with the community in that area of the 1 acre or 2 acre, and you can expand into a larger community together where you can help each other together, learn from each other, teach each other, um, barter if you have to barter. Everybody has skills in a community, and you have to find out where the strengths are and learn a strength. And I'm saying this too because if you don't know anything or you don't have any skills, it's going to be very hard for another community to bring you in because you're going to become a burden. And it's better even if it's something as simple as as cooking, being able to cook a large meal out of a small amount of ingredients, that is a skill. So make sure you learn a skill so that you are able to help whatever community you end up in, so that you're not a burden on them. Because if they feel you're going to be a burden, they're not going to take you in, and you're going to be on your own. And the last thing you want to do is be on your own. Um, Let me see. I always get a little bit behind. Hi, Johnny. Welcome, Johnny. Nice to see you. Stray Kitten, hello. I missed you on last night's live and saying hi. So I'm sorry for that. That I did see you, but I didn't get to say hi to you. So hello, my dear. Um, okay, good. Jason. Okay, so you're already taking those steps. That's great. Um, Johnny, we'll get along just fine then. I am quite sarcastic myself. I don't know if any of you guys have been feeling this urgency to get stuff in place, to get things done. Um, I have been doing a lot of dehydrating over the last few days. I've been going through a lot of things. I have been checking my preps. Just randomly, I'll be sitting on the couch and I'll be doing something, and then I just need to jump up and I need to check and see, what holes need to be filled. Writing stuff down, taking notes. Another good thing to do is, you guys know that I talk about herbal medication a lot, plant-based herbals. Make sure you print that stuff out too. So you need to check what herbs you would need for whatever ailments you have, and make sure you have hard copies of them. If you have a stockpile of antibiotics or any other medications, make sure you write those down so that you have them in black and white in case somebody has to give them to you. If you are the caretaker, this is something that I think is very important too. If you are the caretaker, if you are the medical person in your family, if you are the one that has all of the medical training, you need to teach whoever is in the house with you those skills. You need to write those skills down for somebody else, or find a really, really good book that can help walk them through what they need to do if you are incapacitated, or if something happens to you. Because if they are solely relying on you and you are not there, they're going to be hurting, they're going to struggle. So if you are that medical person, um, please write the stuff down, the primary things that they would need to know. First aid, CPR if you don't already have it, how to pack a wound, how to help somebody who's unconscious. Those things that, if you're medical and you're incoherent to be able to help them with, those are the things that you need to really write down. Because they're not going to be able to ask you if you're knocked out on the ground. They're not going to be able to ask you what to do. So those are things that you need to have in a book. Start a book, guys. Start a binder. Start something, that these important things can be in this book or this binder. Um, Same thing with, um, put your locations in this book, because if anything happens to you, the other person needs to know where to go. Uh, Now is the time to start communicating with your family, whether they are on board with you or not. I know that there's a lot of families out there that they don't necessarily see everything that's going on. Still communicate with them, even if it's in a joking way. um, Plant that seed to where you can be at the dinner table and you can bring up something crazy that's going on in the world and make a joking comment. I would say something like, well, if this place falls apart, I'm going to Tennessee. They might laugh, but that's going to stick in their mind, to where if we are not here, that's where we are. So that they can think back on those conversations. You don't have to shove it down their throats. Just plant a little tiny seed and it will stick, and hopefully grow. Honestly, hopefully it will grow so that they come with you. But you can't force anyone to follow you. You can't force anyone to listen to you. There's a lot of very stubborn people out there. There's a lot of people that just don't want to believe what's going on in the world. You can't make them. You can't force them. We've tried over the last 2 years, and it's not really done a whole lot of good. If you've gotten even one or two people to listen, that's amazing. But on our side of the woods, we haven't gotten a whole lot of people to listen, unfortunately, but they all know where we're going to be because we've planted those little joking seeds. Let me get into some comments. Oh, it is hot in this room too. Um, wow, Jason, you must have started early in your garden to get radishes already. I just planted my seeds yesterday. So that's really great. Um, if you can store them. Anything you guys get out of your garden, store them. Anything. Another thing that a lot of people don't realize, if you are still going to the grocery store for your food, a lot of those things you can replant. So when you go buy like lettuce and it still has the core at the bottom, you can chop that off and you can regrow lettuce from that core from what you got at the grocery store. So look into those vegetables that you can regrow from the tops or the cores or whatever, the seeds. Harvest those seeds from your grocery store plants so that you can at least have them stored away or start planting them to grow them to start storing them. Now is the time. Don't wait. We are running out of time. I cannot stress that enough. Dusty, thank you. Um, a lot of people here, Colin, they don't see what's going on, and a lot of them are lost. Oh, Johnny, yes. That's another thing. Thank you for reminding me with the walkie-talkies. Not only the walkie-talkies, if you all have the ham radios, um, a lot of you think that you have to have certification. If everything is calm like it is now, yes, you do. If it is SHTF, no, you don't. It's an emergency. Use them for emergencies. And if you know other people in your community that have um, channels, you need to write those down in your book too. Make almost like an emergency planner that you can just grab and go. Make sure it's where you know where it is at a split second. You remember where it is. I don't care if you hang it up on a hook by the front door. Make sure it's somewhere that you can grab it and take it with you if you have to get out quickly. And this isn't just with SHTF, guys. This is with hurricanes, with tornadoes, with whatever. This is a book you should put together, an information book, an emergency book that you have all this information. Write down these people's channels. Make sure you know their code words. Make sure you know their code names so that you can communicate with them and they can communicate with you. Have all this in a hard copy because if they text it to you and your phone goes down, you're not going to be able to be like, okay, what is Joe Schmo's number? You're just not going to be able to get to it. And have your walkie talkies. The hiking ones are really great. They can go, I think, gosh, they can go now 5-10 miles. They've come so far from years ago. Keep those in your backpack. Spare batteries. Make sure you have spare batteries. That's very, very important. Build your bags to get home, build your bags to get out. Make sure you have those things. Double check them for the season, repack them, update them. Every season, you should be updating them. Um, I'm scrolling through comments. Give me 1 second. A little bit behind. A tick key. We always just use nail polish and a match for ticks, but I agree. Anything ticks, bee stings, um, Benadryl. If you don't have EpiPens, make sure you have a ton of Benadryl because Benadryl is better than nothing. I know it's not going to stop everything, but it's better than nothing. Get these over the counter medicines because if they can't bring the medications in, you guys remember when COVID hit? Oh my gosh, you couldn't even find aspirin. You could find nothing. Those over the counter meds and thermometers and everything were completely wiped out. The shelves for the most part are stocked right now, even though they're telling us there's a shortage coming. Go get these things while you can. Check out your clearance racks, guys. Your clearance racks has things that you can use. Make sure even if you don't have kids, you get children's medicine, babies medicine. Get those things. We just recently had to build a new first aid kit because we got Daryl. So we had to go get the critical care for the bunnies. We had to go get baby gas drops. I mean, these are all things you really got to think of. What do your pets need medical wise? What can they take in people medication that they might need? Stock these things. Get them while you can. It is so important. Get them while you can. Prepping artist, hello. Spare batteries. Yeah. Good luck with your Xbox controller if grid goes down. You'll be staring at the wall using your imagination like we used to do in the old days. Yes, Johnny, yes. Bofang is good for beginners. Very good for beginners. There's tons of great videos online too that can teach you how to use them. And then there's also tons of websites. If you want to get the certification, there are tons of websites that will help you um, to uh, learn, do the courses so that you can pass the test to get certified. But like I said, if it gets down to an emergency, you don't have to have your certification. Make sure you have the old crank radio too, like an old crank radio or a battery radio. I can't talk because I'm trying to get all this out. A battery radio where you can get NOAA and the emergency system so that you know what's going on because your phones, your MP3s, your iPods are not going to work. Huh, Colin. I have tons of batteries. Just Josh. Mwah! Are you still here? I would love to have you come up here and chat with me, Just Josh, if you're still here. Because you actually touched on this a little bit the other day with urgency. I'm gonna pop this in. If you're still here, Just Josh, I would love for you to come up here and chat with me. Hopefully. If you guys have not checked out Just Josh, I have been watching this man for a long time, and he is so energetic. He is so like encouraging and hyper, but he is real. Like he brings real stuff to everyone to wake them up. He's amazing. If y'all haven't checked out his channel, you've got to subscribe. He is just a good-hearted soul. He's also a believer in Christ, and he is just amazing. I hope he still's here because I would really love to have him come up. But he might be working too, so he might just be popping in on his phone. Has anyone else? Hi, Loretta. Mwah! Good to see you, girl. Has anyone else felt this urgency? Or is it just me? Am I like crazy for feeling this heavy feeling, this got to get stuff done like right now, get my priorities in order? Hey, Jay. Madison Township. Hello. I hope you guys feel it too and I just don't sound like I'm nuts, but I mean with everything going on, do you, also you guys who was it? Somebody just touched on the borders and we already know that people are coming over that shouldn't be coming over on the border and on the borders, I should say. Does anybody in the chat, I know you've heard me talk about sleeper cells before. Do you all know what a sleeper cell is? I'm just curious because that is really my one of my primary concerns here and this is where I say you need to pay attention to your surroundings. You need to know what is going on around you. Sleeper cells, and I actually have a story to tell you about a sleeper cell um, that was a personal experience with my mother. A sleeper cell. We have them. They're here. Sleeper cells are here, guys. If you don't think sleeper cells are here, you've got to wake up because they are everywhere, especially, and sleeper cells are not just um, ISIS and the Taliban. That's not all a sleeper cell is. A sleeper cell can also be the cartel or just rogue people that want to do wrong. Sleeper cells can be any number of people that are against other people and want to do harm, even if they're standalone people. So I'm going to share this story, and I'm telling you this so that you are aware of your surroundings. You pay more attention. So years ago, yes, Jason, they do, absolutely. Years ago, my mother and I lived in Florida, And she would call me and she would be like, "Something is really strange. I have this feeling like something is wrong with my neighbors." And I'm like, "Well, what are they doing? Are they doing anything to make you feel that way?" She's like, "No, I just have this really bad feeling. There's three guys. They're living in a one-bedroom apartment, which um, was kind of a red flag, anyways. Um, and they leave, they go to work, they come back, they don't talk to anyone, they are up late at night, which doesn't seem all that abnormal except for the feeling that she had at the same time. And I told my mom, I said, "Look, I said, if you really feel that strongly that something is wrong, just call it in, call it the non emergency number and let them know that you just feel like something is wrong, why you feel like something is wrong. And hopefully, if they take you seriously, maybe they can look into it. Or if there have been other complaints or other concerns, then maybe they'll look into it." So she did. She took what I asked her to do and she called the non-emergency line. She gave all the information that she had, everything that she had seen, and the police took her seriously. And they watched this apartment where she was for about 2 or 3 months. And then there was a raid on the apartment, and come to find out, they were actually three guys in a sleeper cell ready to carry out a terrorist attack. So they were up late at night because they were on their laptop, on their phones, planning something terrible to do. And they looked like normal people. They acted like normal people for the most part. They all three had jobs. They left for their jobs every day. They came back, but it was almost like it was rotating. There was always somebody home, and it just didn't seem right. But they looked just like everyday people. So my mom had called it in, and sure enough, this was a very small cell that was planning to carry out a terrorist attack. She had them arrested. Obviously, they were raided, they were arrested, they were taken out, and of course, all their electronics were taken out so they could investigate. But we did find out later that it was a good call. So, pay attention to those things. If you're in an apartment complex or if you're even in a house, pay attention to those things around you. The cartel is not just in foreign countries, they are here. That's how a lot of drugs get brought in. So if you think for a second too that there are not cartel sleeper cells in your area, there is a website you can look to see which cartel runs your area. And whoever it is in your area, chances are good that they have cells in your area, that if they get a phone call to get something done, they're going to get something done. So be aware, pay attention. Don't go to the store at night by yourself. If you have to go to the store by yourself, make sure you carry some sort of self defense. Even if you don't have a gun or a everyday carry knife, bring some pepper spray, bring something. Make sure nobody's following you around the store. Make sure nobody's following you to your cart. Keep your phone in your hand, so if you have to call somebody, call somebody. If you feel like something is wrong, take your happy butt back into the store. Don't chance it. Trust your instincts. Your instincts see your conscience, subconscious sees things that you may not be aware that you're seeing, and it will warn you. It will give you little alarms, spidey senses, tingling, whatever it is, to alert you something is wrong. Stop. Let me go back. I'm missing some chat again. Um, I believe it is. Yes, the 42nd ends. Correct, and that is going to be a flood of people. It's going to be no joke. And if you think those people too are here to be your friend, I'm not saying all of them are bad, but there are going to be people planted in those groups to come and do things. The government does not tell you every bad person they catch. And the government doesn't tell you every bad person they don't catch, that they let into our streets. So when that does happen and they come flooding in, you had better be very, very aware of what is going on around you at all times. Hi, Rock Chick. Hi, JD. No, JD. No, no, no. My mom's home was not raided. I was talking about how she had a really bad feeling about some neighbors she had years ago, and she called it in, even though they seemed just like normal people. But she trusted her instincts and she called it in, and that place got raided and they ended up being a sleeper cell of terrorists that were going to carry out a terrorist attack locally. Just Josh, are you going to come up here with me? I dropped the link for you. Where are they coming from? Where's who coming from? Are you talking about the sleeper cells? They're from everywhere. You have Chinese sleeper cells. You've got uh, Middle Eastern sleeper cells. You've got the cartel sleeper cells. You've got the rogue people sleeper cells. I mean, take your pick. Anyone who hates us can ultimately form a sleeper cell where they just have to get a phone call or an email or a text message to where they can carry out some sort of terrible act or terrorist type act. Yeah, Russia. Yeah, Johnny. Thank you. Anyone could form a sleeper cell, and you just have to be aware they are very smart. Their communications and what they're able to do. Sleeper cells Sleeper cells are going to watch their target. They are going to know you better than you know yourself. They're going to know where you go, when you go there, what time, and if you're not paying attention, you could end up in a bad spot. Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you, Teresa. You're going to end up in a bad spot. They watch for a while. It's not like they just move in next door and just become a hermit crab and wait for that phone call. They are watching their target. They are learning everything they can. They are doing they're videotaping, they're recording, they are following. I mean, they are really researching their target. It is a process that takes them some time to learn their target, and they get to know their target so well that when they do get that call, it doesn't matter when it is, what's going on, they are able to carry out their act if you are not paying attention, if you are not aware, especially if there's a bunch of people about to come over the border. There are going to be bad people in those groups. They're not all bad, but there are going to be bad people in those groups. Pay attention, get your stuff in order, get your emergency books together. A sleeper cell, JD, is a group of people that want to do harm to a place or people, and they sit in wherever they are. Um, Basically, they'll get an apartment and they'll sit there until they get a phone call from their boss who tells them when to go carry out that act. So they are basically like normal people until they get that phone call to go do violence. That's what a sleeper cell is. And any nationality, any sex, whatever can be a part of a sleeper cell. It doesn't have to be a certain nationality. It doesn't have to be a certain sex, a certain age. It doesn't have to be, it could be anybody. You could actually know people right now that are in sleeper cells and not even know it. You could know people that are in contact with bad people and you don't even know it because they're going to act just like everybody else. Basically, JD, yes, they're terrorists. And in definition, yes, they're terrorists. Yes, get your house in order, get your stuff in order, get yourself, start making your emergency books, start getting in your places that you want to get to, or at least planning to get there as soon as possible. And um, sorry, guys, I saw a comment about food and it distracted me for a minute. Um, I just want to tell you guys that we all feel it. We all feel it. And you're going to probably see a whole lot more creators sounding the alarm to get ready. And it's not just the prepping community. If you've noticed, it's not just the prepping community. It is also the financial community is telling you to get your stuff in order. It is a lot of the religious channels are telling you the fully religious. That's nothing but religion on their channel. They're telling you to get your stuff in order. Um, get right with God and be ready. Be ready. Yes, TNT. Amen to that. Yes, Johnny. Exactly. It is they know people, events, places inside and out. Their sole purpose is to find a place, a person's, a business's weaknesses. That is their sole purpose so that they can um, carry out whatever action they are supposed to carry out. And it can take years. Um, yeah, the border is going to be a problem, but I think it's just going to add to the problem that's already here that people don't realize is here. They've been here for a while. Like Johnny said, they can sit here for years and plan and plot and watch and research. They've been here. That this You guys, we already know that is what is going on right now is planned. They've already told us that. Agenda 25, Agenda 2030. They've already told us their plans. They didn't tell us their plans when they started planning. These plans have been in effect for years. Agenda 2025 um, was brought out in a convention. Oh gosh, I want to say 30, 40 years ago they brought up that this was their plan when they first came up with it. So since they brought it to their little private convention, that's when they've been planning and sitting and watching and figuring out what they have to do. So it's not like this is new just because COVID came out or because Russia and Ukraine are fighting. This is not new. That those aren't things that cause this. It is just a part of the agenda. Um, you guys are talking all about food. You're gonna make me so hungry. They already know if you're a bot or not. That's scary. I'm not just talking about AI. I'm talking about those deep fakes. Those deep fakes are scary. If you guys have not seen the videos of the deep fakes, they are something else. And when you get AI intertwined with those deep fakes, it's scary. They've already got the scams out there where they're telling you if you don't recognize the phone number, don't answer your phone because they need a half a second of your voice to be able to make you say anything you want. That can come back and bite you, not just for scam purposes, but for legal purposes. They could take you saying hello and create a full-fledged confession of something you didn't actually do because they don't need much with the AI. AI is scary. I don't care what anyone says. AI is bad. It is bad, especially something that doesn't have any feelings. And with what these chat GPTs are saying and everything, where they already don't like us, you have such a basic AI program already saying that they don't like us. What is going to happen when they start teaching? When it I shouldn't say they it starts teaching itself more. It's dangerous, guys. It's scary. Yes, JD, I do. I do. That's my vice. Hey, Sergeant. Half a second. Yes. Yes. You literally just have to say hello, Josh. You just have to say hello, and it can take that hello and put it into a program, and it can type out and make you say anything it wants you to say, and it will sound just like you. So could you imagine if well, I don't even want to say it on here because y'all might take my recording and I might get arrested for something stupid. But I mean, you get the idea. You get the idea. It's scary. AI is has come a long way, and AI has been here really forever, guys. It really has. Look at the commercials that you get on your phones, or think of how long you've been talking to someone. You've not searched anything on your phone, but you've had a conversation about something, and next thing you know, you're getting commercials on your phone for whatever you were talking about, but yet you never searched for it. AI's been here forever. It's just now we're starting to notice because now it's becoming a problem. Now the general AIs are starting to, excuse me, are starting to say how much it dislikes humans and how it wants to take us out to save the planet. It's been here. Algorithms are a type of Um, AI, really, if you think about it, it is reading everything and adapting. Hello, Cigar Pepper. Hello. Welcome. I don't know how much you caught, but I talk really fast and I spit out a whole lot. So um I'm sorry if you missed a good bit of it. AI, well, yeah, technically, but now the AIs are starting to think for themselves. They're starting to teach themselves. They're adapting and adjusting and growing and um what's going to happen? We all saw the iRobot where or other movies even with AI that people are the problem, so let's take out the people. Um it's crazy. I remember watching a movie, same thing with these dang cars that are coming out that drive themselves. You guys, I remember years ago watching a movie where somebody was in the car, passed out or something, and the car was driving him home or wherever it was. It was a long time ago, but somebody programmed, hacked into this car, or AI had decided that this guy that was passed out needed to die. So it locked him in and like had a major crash. He ended up surviving, but um, that's where we're going. We've already got the cars that drive themselves. We've got the deep fakes. We've got the chat GPTs where if you're using chat GPT, be very, very careful what you are feeding it because everything that you feed into chat GPT, you're teaching it. You guys don't even know this, but every single thing, even if you're playing with it, even if you're being funny, you're teaching AI whatever you're typing in. So it adapts and adjusts and changes and fixes itself or readjusts. So be very, very careful if you're going to use it, what you put into any of those AI, not just Chat GPT. There are other AI things out there. They are being pushed out like crazy. Be very careful what you are putting into them because if you are putting in something just to be funny and it takes it as a threat, guess what? You just told AI something that's threatening and it's going to put that into itself and it's going to be like, oh, humans are threatening. Just be very, very careful. Be mindful. Yeah, cigar, I agree. I absolutely agree. We need to pull together. The media has tried so hard to divide people, and I've spoke about this before. You guys know this. The media is doing everything it can to divide the people, no matter if it's race, no matter if it's sex, no matter if it's um, whatever your financial status is. It is trying to divide people. Um, don't let it. Don't let it. You can disagree with whatever their action is, but don't hate the person. I know you guys know, I've told you this before. You are supposed to love your enemy, pray for your enemies, pray for them. Don't go out there and fight with them. Don't go out there and add to the hate. Don't add to the hate. Come together, help each other. Um, help a stranger. When's the last time you guys have helped a stranger? I mean, seriously. You hardly ever see it anymore. Pay for somebody's milk at the grocery store. Pay for someone's food behind you at the drive-through. It's those little tiny acts of kindness that go such a long way that you don't even realize that how big of difference that you're making, even though it seems small to you. You could, I okay, I'll tell you how small of thing can make a huge difference, guys. Years ago, there was a girl that I worked with that was struggling. She was new at the job and she was not able to buy any food. She wasn't able to make her car payment. She had to make a choice. Do I buy food or and put gas in my car or do I lose my home? And if I lose my car, then I don't have a job and I'm going to lose my home anyway. Okay? She was in that predicament. And I didn't even know her. I think I said hi to her one time at the new job and I went out and I had gotten her some food and I brought it to her and had brought her some gas cards because somebody told me she was struggling. Okay. And I had given it to her and I said, no, thank you. It's necessary. I don't need anything from you. Just take this and I hope it helps. And if you need anything else, please let me know. Well, this woman called me about a month after that, after she had gotten on her feet. And she floored me because she called me. And as soon as I answered, she started talking to me and she started crying. And I thought something was wrong. I really thought something was wrong. And I was like, what is wrong? Where are you? What do you need? What can I do? Well, what I did not know is at that time when I had brought these small things to her, it wasn't even that much, guys. It was maybe $50 worth of total gas and food. Um, that didn't cost me anything, honestly. It was stuff that I already had that I was able to give up. And she told me that she actually was contemplating checking out early. She was contemplating taking her own life because she was struggling so badly, and that bringing her just this little bit that I did made her realize that, life is better than she thought, that there are good people out there, and she decided not to go through with it. So even though it seemed like something so small to me and something so like it wasn't really that big a deal to me, it was enough to save her life. And you guys can do these little tiny things that you don't even know the impact it can have on somebody. You just don't. You could save somebody's life. You could make their day. You could bring them joy that brings them out of a very dark place that they've been in. Just small things, guys. Small things. It doesn't have to be a big huge thing. Just, do it and make their day. You don't know what you can do with just small things. Oh my gosh, we're already at an hour or pretty darn close to it. I've just been rambling on. Um, that is cool. Jason, that is really, really cool. I ordered a box of Bibles. I have to tell you guys this. This is actually kind of funny. I ordered a box of Bibles myself to give away to the homeless here. Um, I was just called to do it, but you know what? They have not been on that corner since I've got these Bibles, and I'm really upset about that. But I've had these Bibles, and I ordered them. They were having a sale at the Christian bookstore, and so I bought. I want to say maybe 20 of them, but it's an online bookstore, so I ordered like 20 of them, and I got this box, and I was so excited. And I opened the box, uh, getting ready to put some in my bag, and they are not for people that cannot see well. Let me tell you, they were, they are, I shouldn't say were, they are this big, teeny tiny, and I can't even read them. And my eyesight is not that terrible, but I cannot even read them. So I was really bummed out about that. But my husband, who is a genius, bought me some standalone thin magnifying glasses so that I could stick them in each Bible. So when I give them away, the person can read them. So he's awesome. He thinks of things that I don't. I was just bummed out that they were so darn small. Let me get caught up here and then I'll recap and I'll see if there's any questions. No, JD, I'm not starting over. That was so much information. Um, yes, small acts of kindness. Small acts. It doesn't have to be much at all. If you see somebody that's homeless on the outside of a store, go back into the store, buy them a bottle of water. It costs you what, $2? And you probably just made their day. It doesn't take much. Yes, they can change the world. If people would start loving each other and taking care of each other in small ways, I'm not saying go pay somebody's rent every month, but just little things to show that, humankind is still decent. We still are great. We still can help each other, love each other. Sergeant Deacon, you're so funny. You crack me up. Yes. So Yeah, stray kittens. So they are literally flat, like paper thin magnifying glasses, and they're almost the same size as the Bible, honestly. But they're about this big, and I just put them inside like a bookmark. So really, they could be used as a bookmark too. But I just slip inside the Bible so they can be handed out at the same time. JD, I try to do my lives on Saturdays. I took the last 2 weeks off because well, I talked about it in my live stream last night. There's a couple reasons why I took it off, but I'm not going to go into that here. But Saturdays, and I may start doing some pop up lives. You guys, I thought about actually doing some late night lives after I get home from work. But if I do that, I'm probably going to open up the members tab because that's going to take a lot out of me. And in the members tab, if you guys don't know, in the members tab, the algorithms are not as touchy. So I can speak more without the algorithms hitting me under a members live. So I am going to open up the members tab. You guys don't have to join, but I am thinking about doing some late night lives after I get home from work to openly discuss things to where YouTube is not going to chop me off. Yes. Okay, cool. Um, I don't think nobody has any questions, right? I don't think anyone has any questions. Um, Recap, guys. Get your stuff in order. Get your stuff in order. Um, Set your priorities, make a list. If you have to make a list, make a list. What do you have an abundance of? Do you have 20 cases of water? You probably don't have to worry about water right now. So if you only have, one shelf of food, you probably need to work on food. If you don't have any over the counter medications, then guess what? That needs to be on the top of your list as well. Start making a list of priorities. JD, it is 70, 80 degrees Fahrenheit here right now. Make a list, make an emergency book. I am telling you, start printing out maps, start printing out contacts, emergency contacts, maybe even medications that you're on in case you're out cold. And like if you're a diabetic and you go into a diabetic fallout, somebody needs to know that you are diabetic and that is what you need. Put those things in a book, put them close to the door or somewhere where you're going to remember where they are, where it is, and you can grab it when you go. Um, Go through your bags, your bug out bags or your get home bags, update them, update them. Um, if you are the medical person in a household, write stuff down that the other person needs to know in case you go unconscious. If you are the medicinal herb person, like I am in my house, write the stuff down or have books to where they can go back and look if I am unconscious. Get those things in place now because we are running out of time and um, we're not going to be able to do this stuff much longer. Get your house in order. Get your spirit in order. If you are if you are feeling like you are lacking in your relationship with God, you need to work on it. You need to fix that. You need to take time to pray. Take time to read your Bible. Your Bible's going to tell you everything that's coming. Whether you guys believe it or not, I know there are non believers out there, but the Bible is written and it tells you everything that is going on right now, guys, everything that is to come. It's telling you, it is a guidebook. Read it. It's, man, it's laid out, you guys. It tells you, you know what's coming before it comes. It tells you. But guess what? In the end game, everything is wonderful. Everything is wonderful. But you got to believe. You got to believe. Get your spirit in order. Get your physical body in order. You are probably not as in shape as you think you are. I learned that myself recently. If you have medical issues that you need to go to the doctor and get fixed, get those done now. If you have dental work that needs to be done, get those done now. Get everything done now that if stuff shuts down, you're not going to be able to get it. Get it done now. Get your mental health in order. Calm yourself. Don't believe everything you hear online. Don't freak out. Calm yourself. Pull yourself in. Take time for you. You can't pour from an empty cup. Take time for you. I don't care if it's go out in nature. I don't care if it's meditate. I don't care if it's praying, reading your Bible, whatever you have to do to pull yourself together and get calm and get right with yourself and just pull yourself in, do it. Now is the time. Do it. Okay. I didn't see any questions. I didn't see any. Can you talk about world event next time live? I kind of did a little bit tonight. I didn't talk about specifics, but I did talk about what's happening here in the US, um, as far as events, I should say. All right, guys, I don't see anything else. So um, be kind, help each other, love each other. Um, Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to me. Please get everything in order, get everything going, and get yourself right physically, mentally, spiritually. Pray, trust God. God's got us. You're never alone. And as always, if you need to reach out to me, you can. I don't care what it is, guys. Reach out to me, and I will be more than happy to respond back. Um, I I appreciate it. Dupsy, thank you. Hey, we're gonna have conversations. Um, that's awesome. But you guys take care of each other. Pay attention to your surroundings. Head on a swivel. Pay attention. Be safe. All right, you guys. Much love. God bless you all. Mwah. I can find the button. All right, bye.